Hello everybody. I am Shiri Katalan, Head of Marketing at Global Dots, and I think all of us in today's market feel it. The noise is absolutely deafening. And it's our job as marketing to find ways to cut through that noise. Now, especially if you're not very well known, if you don't have very big budgets, I found that the best way to do this is to find a different way to play the game. Most of us are too small to be conventional. Our brands are too new to be regular. And so we don't have the luxury of using the same old playbooks as everybody else. We have to find a way to stand out. And so this is what Adva and I are going to be talking about today. How to do exactly that in the whole events life cycle. Now we've been doing this, I think, for 70 events now together. So, Adva, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Shiri. Hi everyone, I am Adva Glucker. In my last role, I led global events at Global Dots, and today I run my own company of B2B marketing events for startups and enterprises. Today we're going to talk about trade shows and how to make them actually pay off. Trade shows are painfully expensive, and today I want to show you smarter and better ways to invest your budget and your time. Ways that actually turn event traffic into sales pipeline. You see, when you're focusing only on generating leads, you're missing the bigger picture. A trade show is a self-contained marketing funnel. It's a mini funnel inside of your big sales funnel, and you should start looking at it that way in every decision you make, from the creative to the way you handle the follow-ups. So now let's look at the funnel together. You have people walking around, stopping at booths, leaving their details. You even have the option to interact with them more than once. Now what we did is we take this funnel, we broke it into steps, and we optimized each steps. Then we ran it in trade shows all over the world, and as a result, we got more qualified leads, more booked demos, and more closed deals. This is how you win a trade show, step by step. Step 1, getting attention. Now this is the stage where you really want to stand out, because at this point, they don't know who you are, you're just another booth for them. They don't know that you're the one that they should actually come and speak with. Now the good news is that in trade show is very easy to stand out, because everything else is very, very boring. All of those look exactly the same. So all you have to do is be a little bit different, and then you stand out automatically. Now, standing out looks different in every trade show. It depends on the context. So if everyone else are shouting, I want to dance. But if everyone else are dancing, I will sing. Now I want to show you an example. Next month we are participating in an IT expo in Germany. Now it's Germany, so everything is going to be very conservative and very traditional. So all we have to do to stand out is to be the fun booth. And this is exactly what we're doing. We're building a vacation booth. Now this is just the draft. Thank you. This is the draft that I sent to our designer. This is not the whole booth. Our ICP over there are security people. And security people always complain that their job is very stressful. So we wanted to give them the exact opposite. A vacation, a stress-free vacation. Now, what is the problem? Our booth is stuck at the most far away, darkest corner of the hall, and if no one is going to get there, no one is going to see how cool the booth that we've just made. So what do you do when you have a booth in a poor location or a very small booth? You need to take advantage of every real estate that you possibly can. So for example, you know those hanging objects that people put above their booth? Those are great because you can see them from very, very far. But most of the companies put their logos over there. Now, unless you're Apple or Wiz or you have like a very big logo, no one cares about it. No one is going to come because you put your logo over there. What you should do is you should put something surprising there. Something that if someone sees it from the other side of the room, They will think, what the hell is that? And they will have to come to see it. Another thing that you want to take advantage of are your booth visitors and your booth staff. You're using them as walking ads, really. What we're doing this time is we're putting our team with cruise captain uniforms, and we're giving away pina coladas so that the visitors can take it with them and drink it while they're walking around. And of course, those things look different in the conference, in the trade show view, and everything has our booth number on it. Another great traffic generation for your booth are speaking sessions, speaking slots. All you have to do is very simple. You need to give value. You need to leave open questions. You don't want to answer everything in your session. And then, of course, you invite them to meet you later at your booth. So now we've made them come to us. The next step is that we want to make them stop and engage with us. We want to talk with them. And now I want to show you as an example one of my favorite creatives that we ever did. It was for an aviation trade show, and we went there with a cybersecurity product. Now we knew that everything over there are going to be airplanes because it's an aviation trade show. So what we did, you know, people always think that creative should be complicated and it's taking a lot of time to think about it, but we actually played a little game of associations. Cybersecurity, security, wall, fortress, but modern, and that's how we really thought of our team. We've built a digital fortress. Now, what I absolutely love about this creative is that it's so simple. Anyone can do it. It didn't require any production. Me and Shiri built it in our own hands. And we didn't have a lot of budget because otherwise we would have built an actual castle, but we still needed a hook. So what we did is we bought a full night size on Amazon. And yes, we've built it ourselves as well, and it was greasy and disgusting. And this night became the star of the show. Everyone loved it. People came especially to see it, to take pictures with it. I've heard people speaking about it in the supermarket outside of the venue, and we even had some C-levels wanted to take him home. Now, we became the booth with the night, and it was a great traffic generation. It was great for getting the attention of the people. So, the next step is engage meaningfully. Now, what we need to do here is to make sure that every interaction that we are making serves our sales flow, because we want to get MQLs. We don't want to get a bunch of freeloaders looking for free gifts. And the irony is that one of the best ways to do is with your giveaways. Now, here is how you do giveaways right. Everyone knows that giveaways should be something that people will be actually willing to stand in line for. And I want to share with you some of the ideas that were working for us. Themed gifts. Personally, I don't believe that giveaways should always be branded. Sometimes cool gifts in branded bags works a lot better. The second one is geeky gifts. It works. Apparently people in trade shows are nerds. And of course, gifts for kids. Parents will gladly give you 3 minutes of their time if you save them a trip to the toy store. And it opens an opportunity for you to bond with them on a personal level because you ask them questions about their kids. So, how do you make giveaways a part of your sales flow? I know that the name is a bit misleading, but you shouldn't be just giving them away. They are qualification tools for your salespeople. You give them only for customers and for ICP after qualification. And it helps you in two ways. First, it builds exclusivity. No one is just getting your gifts. And the second one, it protects your budget when you're lean on budget. And now let's move on to the last step. Create lasting memory. Why is it so important? When you create lasting memory, your follow-ups after the trade shows are easier, and you have more touch points with your prospects, which is gold. Now, how do you create last memory? One of the keys of lasting memory is a raffle. Now, a lot of companies think that raffle is a great way to generate mass leads, to get a lot of leads, but that's a mistake. This is not what the raffle is for. Raffle is for getting more touch points with your ICP. Do you know why? Because the winner of the raffle is always your ICP. It's always the person that you want to speak with most after the trade show. And now you can give this person PlayStation 5, that's nice. You send it, they say thanks, and that's it. What I want you to do, a smarter way to do it, is give them something that actually buy you one-on-one time with them. For example, tickets to the World Cup. We did it this year with tickets to Formula 1 race. We had 20 lucky winners and we took them to the VIP track in London. It worked amazingly. We had 100% show rate on a Sunday, and you can imagine how 8 hours with our prospect impact our pipeline from the trade show. So, the next time you go on a trade show, think about this funnel. I'm going to post it later on LinkedIn with a few things that I didn't have time to speak about today. So feel free to connect with me later. And of course, stand out, be bold, it pays off big time. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Adva told you everything you need to know about how to get people to your booth and how to create a buzz. But how do you make these conversations into actual deals? Now, most companies aim at the demo, right? As many demos as possible. Everybody talks about building relationship and trust and everything, but in the end, they aim at the demo. Now, I think that's a really big miss. When it comes to events, I think marketing's mission should be to make friends, to enable sales to make friends. We should be friendship enablers. Why? Because friends convert so much better. Now, events are quite amazing. You get your audience and you get to actually talk to them. Not pitch, talk to them. And the irony is, if you focus on making friends instead of booking demos, you'll find that you created the most powerful growth engine you have ever had. So let's talk about how to do this in events. 3 acts of conversion. Before the event, during the event, and after the event. So act number 1, before the event. This is the most difficult time. You are trying to get meetings with C-level people, or at least that's what we're trying to do, get meetings with C-level people. And that's incredibly hard because they don't want to meet you if you're not a very well-known brand. Now, it's not personal, they don't want to meet anyone from the other 50 vendors reaching out in order to schedule meetings, but it's very, very hard. So what we do is, we try a different door opener. We try not to sell, but to offer them something that they may actually want, something they gain from. And we do this with content. So we reach out before and we ask them, do you want to record a podcast episode during the trade show? Or do you want to do a video together? Or do you want to collaborate on a blog post? And so this is something that they want and that they may actually respond to. The purpose of this, the goal, is not the content. That is just the perk on the side. The purpose is to make them like you enough during the recording and then want to have lunch with you or grab a coffee together. What we want to do is create an opportunity for a friendship to be born. Now, podcast and other content, but mainly podcast, is something that we at Global Dots use often as part of our sales funnel. It works incredibly well. Now, last time I spoke on an NV event, I talked about all the ways you can use a podcast as part of your sales funnel. You can find that whole thing in this QR code. Act number 2, during the event. Now, trade shows are amazing. It's where all the rules of the real world are off. Anything can happen. People clear their schedule, they're willing to talk, they're willing to listen. It's magic. You may find yourself sitting at lunch next to the CEO of a well-known company, or standing in line for coffee with the most important person in your market. So what else can you do in that very rare, very special, very expensive moment, except for set up your booth and have your salespeople try to push for demos. And I'm talking about, when I'm saying you, about salespeople, about SDRs, and yes, also about marketing. What else can you do? You can go make friends. Go to the party. Go to the after party. Have a drink or 5. Grab that 3 a.m. burger with your audience. Become a part of their experience. Now, I know what you really want to do at 5 p.m. when the trade show ends for the day is actually go shopping. But this is the money time. This is where you can actually make a difference. So go make friends. And if you have done your job well and you actually made friends, you will find that these people now trust you. So they trust what you say. And so they trust your product. And then when they have to search for a solution, you become the obvious choice for them, and it feels like a win for them. So, act number 2, go make friends. Act number 3, what do you do after the event? Now, most companies send out boring emails, but you are not them. You are wild and daring. So what can you do in this moment that actually stands out? Let's break this down by the type of relationship you have built during the event. So type of relationship number 1 is the tight relationship. Basically, if you know the name of their ex and why they broke up, you are there. And then everybody else. So for the tight relationship, the most important thing to remember is do not add them to that list. Do not send them the newspaper. This is not one-to-many marketing. This is one-to-one. So what you or the person that created the friendship should do is send them an embarrassing picture the two of you took together during the trade show, and then a few days later reach out with a non-sales offer. Something like this. Hey, gorgeous, listen, we have this video series that we're doing. Do you want me to hook you up with a marketing team? Now, gorgeous here doesn't feel like you're trying to sell. Gorgeous feels like you're pulling strings for her. And so this deepens your personal relationship and it creates high quality touch points for your company. For everyone else, there's this thing that we do that works really well, and it's gifting. So it's actually pretty simple on paper. Immediately after the event, you send out gifts to the leads from the conference. It can be cold leads, it can be mildly warm leads. These are not the tight relationship leads. We don't send branded gifts. We usually just send them from Amazon with a note. And we have 2 types of gifts that work really, really well. One is these ghosts. They fly around and it's really, really fun. So we send those 2 or 3 weeks before Halloween, right after our conference, and it worked really well. And also these little arcades. The thing is that it's cheap, and it should be cheap because of different regulations on these types of things. So cheap, and also something that stands out and is not boring and, normal. Now, on paper, this is actually quite simple. It is operational hell. It is hard, many, many different things to think of. Reach out if you're planning to do this. Then why do it anyway? First of all, we got really positive SDR engagement. People actually smile when we call. They want to talk to our SDRs, and it's a very, very, very different vibe than usually. We got very strong demo conversions. We had 7%, we had 9%. That's a big deal for us. And perfect attendance, 0 no-shows to the demo meetings. The bottom line of what Adva and I have been trying to say is that you have to stand out. You have to have fun with it. Most of us are not big enough nor well known enough to be boring. So go have fun. Thank you.